Guys, if you met a happy person who doesn't eat carbs, come on. Hello, Derek Curlew coming to you here from the couch today, because today is your counseling session, because today you need a little bit of nutritional counseling. Why is that? Because I think we are fed so much BS from all these people in this fitness industry that I am in, and I'll apologize in advance for them. And guys, the one thing it comes down to is so many people are trying to set themselves apart from something else, and they come up with these crazy ideas of this is how their clients do it, or this is how their program's gonna work. And really, guys, you just gotta follow the basics. So we're gonna teach you everything you need to know today about the 10 most common mistakes, and we're gonna start off with number one. Number one is not eating after a certain time. Does your body or your metabolism know what time it is? I really don't see where this ever came into play. And more than anything, every diet is trying to create some sort of deficit. And so this is what some people are trying to do, is cut off their meals by a certain time at night. But let me tell you this, your muscles and your organs and your tissues and everything living in your body, including your metabolism, needs fuel to process. So you gotta make sure that you're eating no matter what time it is. But it's what you're eating at night that's gonna matter most in that process. So you wanna make sure proteins are included at nighttime. It's going to help to keep your blood sugar stable. It's going to help to grow, repair, nourish everything that you need from your body overnight. And then fats. Fats are going to delay hunger. So you want to make sure those are the two things that you're including at nighttime. If you have trouble sleeping, sometimes dairy or some sort of like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese will actually help you sleep better. And it's a slow digesting protein at night. So that's number one. Not eating carbs. Guys, if you met a happy person who doesn't eat carbs, come on, I don't think we should have to go over this anymore. Now, you cannot take anything away for too long without the body having a rebound or reverse effect. So what happens when you take away carbs for too long? You smell bread and all of a sudden you gain 5 pounds. That's not necessarily true, but it's really freaking close. It might be 7 or 8 pounds actually. So guys, the whole thing is you can't take away carbs. Carbs make you happy, and they also give you energy. So if you take away carbs, you're gonna have a very grumpy person and somebody who's not motivated. Bad combination when you're trying to lose weight. So the most important thing is when you eat your carbs, make sure you're eating them when you need energy. Carbs are your on-demand energy source. You're gonna eat them before any time you need energy. That means late time at night, you don't eat carbs. During the day, before workouts, great time. Next one is not eating fats. We kind of talked about fats already, but you can't take away fats. Fats are going to be what keeps you from eating all day long. They're going to keep your hunger off. They also help to keep your blood flow healthy, and I guess the best way to think of it is less sticky. So when you take in healthy fats, it's going to make your blood and your cholesterol and everything else a lot better, a lot healthier, and a lot more viscosity so that your body can do the right things with it. So basically the whole idea is your joints feel better, your liver functions better, everything in your body functions better when you have healthy fats included. You take those away and all those different functions start to work harder than they need to. The next one is counting calories. You don't know what the hell a calorie is, so why are you counting it? Guys, calories come from a place, they come from a food, they come from something, but calories are not just this mythical thing. So 4 calories in every gram of protein, 4 calories in every gram of carbs, and 9 calories in every gram of fat. You have to know where your calories are coming from, and even if you're eating healthy, there's still gonna be calories in your food. So quit counting calories, start paying attention to your protein, carbs, and fats. The next thing, stop trusting product marketing. I think this is the biggest scam that people fall under. Is they'll see something that says sugar-free, or they see something that says fat-free. And my favorite, they'll see something that says gluten-free. Well guys, all these things, just because it's free of one thing doesn't mean it's free of another thing. So most of your sugar-free stuff is gonna be loaded with extra fats, and most of the time saturated fats, because they gotta make it stickier. Same thing, the opposite. When you're having something that's fat-free, you're actually gonna have a lot more sugar in it because it's gonna put more sugar to make it sticky. There's that sticky thing again. So guys, all that stuff plays into it. Now when you see gluten-free, it doesn't mean paleo, it doesn't mean anything else. It means it doesn't have gluten. It doesn't mean it doesn't have a shitload of fat. It doesn't mean it doesn't have a shitload of sugar. Guys, it doesn't mean it's healthy just because it says something free, okay? Now if it's free food, I would say yes all the time. You never turn down free food. Next one, identifying foods as good or bad. All food is good, guys. Food tastes good, you should live for it, all right? But every food has a time and place where it's gonna serve best. So you can't just sit there and consider, oh, this food is bad, this food is good. Like guys, if you like whatever it is, ice cream, it doesn't mean that's bad. It just means a certain time and place for it. And if you use it as a reward meal or a refeed meal at the end of the week, it's okay. If you eat it every single day, okay, it becomes a bad food. It doesn't necessarily mean you gotta always look at things as good or bad though. There's a time and a place for every type of food. And if you're following a program that says you can't eat something forever, guys, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna be something you're gonna be able to stick to. So don't look at food as good or bad. Food is food, and all food is good. Next one, not doing your own research. So really that comes down when you see the sugar-free and the fat-free and all this, whatever you see on a label, If you don't know if it's good or not, flip it over, look at the nutrient facts. And that's why we got to learn beyond calories, and we got to learn where the calories come from. Look at the fats, look at the saturated fats, look at the carbs, look at the sugar, look at the protein. Does it all balance out? Does it fit the time of day that you're eating? Is it carbs before activity? Is it something where it's fats in between a meal, or right before bed, or as a snack? That's something that's going to hold your hunger over. Like, what's in it? You got to know. And if you don't know your foods, that's probably one of your biggest mistakes you're making. Number 8, I love this one. Being inconsistent and not planning. So inconsistency almost always comes from just not planning. And not planning comes from not prioritizing in your life. Guys, if you want this, you got to plan your meals in advance. You got to have an idea of what you're eating. I've been doing this for a long time now, and I'm able to kind of go about the day a little easier without having to plan every single meal, but I also know what I have in my house. I know what's available. I know what I can eat out if I'm driving out and about. You might not be at that point, so you got to plan a little bit more, and that's where it's going to really come into play. The more you prioritize, the more you plan, the more it's going to become that consistent effort on a regular basis. Next one, number 9. So wanting immediate results. Now, this is obviously, we are humans, this is kind of a new society of immediate gratification. Like, we don't wait for information, we Google that. If we want to know something, we find it out right away, we do it right away. We can call, we can hire, we can Uber, we can whatever. Well, guess what? This is not going to be one of those things. You're going to have to work for weight loss. You're going to have to work to gain muscle. This is not something that's easy, or else everybody would do it, okay? This is something that requires a little bit of effort. When everybody else starts to quit, that's when you need to step it up even more. So that's where the consistency comes in. Now, you can do a crash course diet, you can do an Atkins, you can do a low carb, you can do whatever and try and get some accelerated weight loss. But does that mean you're going to keep it off? No, probably not. And that's where the frustration comes in. That's where the inconsistency ties in, and every other thing on this list. So really, your expectations and your outcome and your output of energy all has to match up. And if that's the case, then that's where you're going to see success. But until that happens, you can't expect to put in a little effort and get massive results, or put in whatever. It's got to even up, all right? So just like everything else in your life, the effort that goes in is going to match that outcome. Very last one. Don't compare yourself to others. Guys, we've all been brought up differently. Some people have been brought up eating certain types of food. Some people and ethnicities have been brought up eating a certain type of food. You can't compare your results to others. You can't compare your meal plans to others. You can't compare anything related to your fitness to other people. Your journey is your journey. Your success is your success. Whatever you've accomplished, you can't have that taken away by somebody else. It's yours. You own it. And that's the one thing with the physique and with the body and everything that you work for, nobody can take that away. And everybody who sees it, who's envious of it, they're only envious because they know that they can't get it themselves. So whatever you want, you got to prioritize, you got to plan for it, and you got to put it into play. Don't fall into any of these fads. Do what seems right. If it doesn't seem right, if it doesn't seem like it makes sense, don't do it, or do your own research. Guys, these 10 tips right here I think can save you. And it's your couch lesson. This is your nutritional therapy for today. And I think if you put these 10 things into play, or out of play if you've been using these things, then I think you're going to have a lot more success and a whole lot less frustration. Now, as always, if you need help, I'm just a message away. You can call, you can text, you can email, and I'm always going to be right there to answer a question. So please, if you have doubt, it's your fault. Ask me. I'm here to help. Guys, till next time, we'll see you, and avoid these 10 crazy myths.